Hello guys. Hello guys, good morning. Can you hear me properly? Hi, can you hear me? Second. Yes, okay. Everything is perfect. Okay, everybody is here. Our usual faces. Yeah, actually 400 subscribers were there yesterday also and today also, but somehow they got reduced. So we are not going to think about it. Our main thing is like studying chess and learning chess, and we are going to spread chess. Okay. Okay, fine. So you can see me properly, right? Is there any issue or anything? So before we start with our today's topic, Shivendra is also here, Tuve is here, Anish is here, everybody is here. Okay. Swarali also seems to be here. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's start with our today's session with some tactics. We will be solving tactics for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, guys, are you ready to solve tactics? Okay, Krishna, it's okay. Yes, so let's solve tactics for 15 minutes maybe, and then we will start with our today's session. Okay, Ashwin Chavan is a new member. Hi, Ashwin. So here it is black to play. You can read it there. Who is to play and all. I have kept the board there. Rook b3 suggested by you guys. Definitely, we should play this move because in our session we saw that previously that the pawn promotion to the queening square is a very important thing, and this rook is actually stopping our pawn. So we should first play rook to the b3, and then when he captures, we will play this move, and then we will be queening. Right? Yes. Very good. So we will move to the next puzzle now. All these puzzles are easy ones. I like to do easy puzzles because it warms you up, and I have even advised you to do this thing before your important games or any games, I will say, because once you are warm up in the initial stage before the game, then in the opening you will not play anything like small mistake or tactical mistake, something like. You should be alert. Your alertness will improve if you keep on solving easy puzzles. Okay. To be focus on the class. Don't worry about other things. Yes, you are doing a great job. We should enjoy chess. We are here to enjoy chess. Okay. Okay. Swarali has suggested this move. Anish, Krishna, future GM. I think his name is also Atul. He is doing this, suggesting this move check, because if you play this move, then we are attacking the rook on here. And so, can you tell me, guys? Can you tell me the theme of this name of this theme by which you attack two pieces at the same time? What do you call it? Just for the reminder, just tell me, what do you call this thing? Do you call it a skewer? Do you call it a fork? Do you call pin? What do you call it? Okay, fork. Yes, guys, you know this thing, right? Very good. I like the way you are answering today. Very good. You remember the themes also. Double attack also you can say, and fork also. Very good. Very good. Swarali, future GM, Tuve also, Anish also. Correct. Okay, here black to play once again. What will you play? Okay, fine. So which move will you play from black side? It seems to be very easy move, but okay, you need to be careful. You can see that in tactics, whenever we are solving, you should see first three things: check, capture, and the threat. Right? So if you see, and also we should pay attention to undefended pieces, undefended pawns. Okay, because whenever something is not having any support, it's most likely that it will be captured. Okay, Anish has come up with a move. He is suggesting that move, rook to king e1 and rook into d3, rook e3. Oh, well. Yes, Tube, you are right about your answer. But here, Atul means future GM. He is suggesting the move which seems to me a little bit bad because let's see. As I mentioned, undefended pieces you need to pay attention, right? So in this position from white side, one undefended piece is on d3, and from black side the another undefended piece is on their c5 square. And there is also one thing is that the pawn is queening at this time, so you need to be very careful while playing this thing. So you need to play rook to the h2. That is correct move. Here capturing the bishop will be a big mistake because then he will capture here, sorry, and then the pawn is about to queen also, and white will be one who will be having extra piece, because if you calculate number of pieces, white already have four pieces, black has only three pieces. So first you need to give this check, and then you should capture the bishop on d3. Okay, yes, correct, Krishna, you are right. Anish, you are also right about this thing. Very good. So we will move to the next one now. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is white to play. Which move will you play? This seems to be a little bit tricky, but yes, okay. We already have one solution here. Guys, please write down at least two moves, because knight h5, after that, what will black play? Because black also has some moves, or your thread you should write down. Just one move if you write down, then maybe the answer might not be correct. As in the previous example, if you just write down rook h2, then I will not consider as a best answer, because here that in the previous puzzle rook e3 was very important move, and after that rook into d3. So here also pay attention. Okay, Swarali has come up with the different answer. She is suggesting rook e5. Are you talking about this position or another position? Because here, if you play rook to the e5, then it is a blunder. He'll just capture the pawn like rook. Okay, fine. So I am getting moves like knight h5, king h8, and then you are capturing on g7. Okay, fine, possible. This seems to be more logical the way you are talking. Knight h5 should be played in this position. So we will play knight to the h5 and see whether it is correct or not. Okay, we'll check it. And it is a correct move, because you are right about this thing. The pawn on g7 is hanging. And another thing is that we are even threatening rook into f6 also. And then rook will come in the game very quickly. Okay. Okay. Last two puzzles for today, and then we will start with our today's topic, which is related to the important concepts of opening and middle game. Okay, yes, it is a mate in one. Yes, yes. You can always come at my evening stream at 6:30. Everybody is welcome there. Tuvia, thank you for sharing it with everyone. So Queen H7 is actually a mating one. And the last puzzle for today. Let's see whether you find it or not. This is also a very easy one. But one thing is that I would like to tell you that you also tell me the theme by which you are solving the puzzle. Yes, knight e5, and then we will be forking the bishop as well as the queen, and we will be winning the piece. Okay, we have solved some puzzles now, and it's time for us to look at the game and understand different concepts related to the opening as well as the middle game. So, are you ready, guys? I hope you are ready. Just let me know whether you are getting the move or not on the board. That is very important. If you are getting the move, then let me know. Okay, I have played e4. I have played e4. Did you get it? I hope you are getting it. Okay, nice. We have yesterday also we have looked at the game to where, and day before yesterday also we looked at some game. Okay, so now we will see some games today and try to understand how to attack also and what not to do in the middle game phase. Okay. Yeah, yesterday's stream was just for fun. That's why I removed it, because it was not something which I wanted to show again and again to everyone. It was just a chill stream. Okay. So E4 is played by a white player. His name is Spillman. Spillman was a very strong player in you can say 1920s and 1930s that time. Okay. Then E6 was played, D4, D5, and this opening's name is French defense. Okay, for the people who don't know, I'm just letting you know this opening, which starts from black side, E6 and D5. It is a French defense. So white played knight to the C3, knight f6, and here in this position, okay. So here white has different options. He can play e5, he can play e into d5, he can play bishop g5, he can even play something like f3 also. So guys, just let me know which move will you play here. Just like that. Whichever move you feel like, okay, I would like to play this move, just let me know. Okay, you want to play e5? Okay. All the moves which I have suggested are completely normal moves and they're all possible. Okay, it is just your choice. Okay, bishop g5 suggested by Anish. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So here white decided to capture on okay, it is your favorite. Okay, fine. So ed5 was played by Spielman. Then black played e into d5, and now he played bishop to the g5. By playing bishop to the g5, he is pinning the knight on this diagonal because queen is there behind it, and we know that whenever a major piece is there behind the minor piece will be pinned. So black played bishop to the e7, unpinning the knight. This is called as unpinning because now the knight can move around very freely. Okay. No, he is not giving up the complete center. You can say the pawn is still there to control the center, and the knight is also there to control the e4. So it doesn't mean that we are giving up the center. We have at least one pawn in the center. We have other piece also which is controlling the center. That is enough. Giving up the center means what? Your opponent will only the person or the only the player who is having the center control. You will not have any control. Then you say that okay, you have given up the center. But here we have a pawn, we have a knight, so we have some good control in the center. And black is also having the same number of pieces. He has a pawn, he has a knight, so it is equal. Okay. Queen e2 is suggested by Tubia. Well, I will say that if you play queen to the e2 in this position, if you play queen to the e2, then I think like you are first of all restricting your bishop, because here I understand that you want to pin the bishop, but he can simply castle here and then there will not be any pin, and he will only play rook e8 and our queen will be under pressure. And another thing is that first of all you should in the opening phase you should try to develop minor pieces first. Queen should not be played early on in the opening because that is not something good. Okay. uh, I did not show you that many people try that which move, which made I don't even remember the name, that fool's mate. We will see after the game that it is not a good idea to play your queen early in the opening. Okay, play your queen, but after finishing the development with the pieces. Okay, okay. Swarali has suggested bishop d3. Okay, scholar's mate. Okay, okay, scholar's mate. Okay, fine. So here bishop d3 is more logical because you are developing a minor piece, and then maybe we can even play knight to the f3 or knight g2, whichever we feel like playing we can play it. Okay, black played here knight to the c6 and white decided to play knight ge2. Knight f3 was also a possibility, but I think he played knight ge2 because he doesn't want to get pinned by the bishop. So he's playing knight to the g2. Knight ge2, because after bishop g4 he has the move that is f3. So black here in this position played a little bit bad move. Okay, as I was mentioning earlier also yesterday that unless and until you complete your development, okay, you should not play the same piece again and again in the opening. And in this position black should play something like bishop to the e6 or even castle. That will be something related to the further developing your pieces or related to the activating a new piece in the opening, or you can say in the game. So here bishop e6 or castle was like a good move in this position, you can say. But what black did, he played knight to the b4. This move is actually not so good because okay, there is no tactical mistake in this move, but we are wasting time by playing same piece again and again. We have already played the knight and again we are playing the knight. We are not paying attention to our development, right? Oh, thank you, Mayur. Thank you for joining us. Development. So understand this thing. And okay, sometimes you need to play a piece again also, and play it only if it's necessary. Okay, if it's not necessary, then don't play it. That is what I will suggest you. Here, knight b4 is played to capture the bishop on d3. I can understand he wants to capture this bishop because this bishop is threatening on h7. Okay, here white played knight g3. Well, why is he playing? As I just mentioned that knight b4 is not that good, but knight g3 might be a okay move because here in this position the knight has a path to go to the f5 or h5, and we will be putting pressure on the black's king side. So that's why knight g3 is much more better move, because anyhow on the next move we will be castling. Okay, black again played knight to the d3. This is something which is not good because he wasted one, two, sorry, 2 and 3 moves just to capture the piece which was played only once. So he has played 3 moves against 1 move. That is not a good trade, right? And so in opening phase, it is very important to be ahead, or you can say that develop your pieces as quickly as possible. So don't play your pieces again and again. This is a very common mistake which many people do, many players do. Here, black thought there is a big pressure on this diagonal and he plays g6 move. But g6 is not at all a good move here, because by playing g6 move, you are creating weaknesses around your king, because at some point black is going to castle, and when he will castle, in that case there will always be some kind of weakness on g7 square or the dark squares, we can say. So here black should have simply castled, and I will always suggest you this thing: whenever you are going to castle, if possible, never play your pawns in front of your king, because when the pawns are there, you have a good shield. Play the pawn move only when it is necessary. Like sometimes if there is a back rank checkmate or something like that, then only play h6 or g6. Because whenever you play any pawn move, it will create some kind of a target for your opponent to attack it. Okay. And also one thing is that by playing g6, the knight on f6 is not having one support now. Previously, when the pawn was on g7, we were supporting the knight on f6. But now after g6, the knight is having one less support. Okay. Here, white just castled because he wants to bring the rook in the game. Here, black played c6 because he wanted to support the pawn on here. And finally, white played rook e1, putting some pressure on this file. Now the bishop is also pinned. Now black played castle. Well, this is a mistake, and now the tactics should come here. So I'll give you some time to figure out what will you play from white side here. Which move will you play? Bishop h6 is suggested by Anish, is suggesting h4, h5. Okay, possible moves. h4 is definitely a possible move with the idea of playing h5. Very good. And another move is bishop h6 is suggested by Akshay. Okay, that is also a possibility here. Future GM is also suggesting bishop h6 because you need to take control of the weaknesses around black's king. I completely agree with you, but I will just tell you there is a better option from white side. Take your time, try to figure out what might be the better option. I'll just give you one trick. This knight on f6 is not having that many supporters here. He has only one this supporter, and there was a pin on this diagonal. So only this bishop is there between this bishop and the queen. So the pin is the important thing in this game. So how will you take advantage of this pin along this diagonal, that is h4 to d8 diagonal? Queen f3 suggested by you. Bishop h6 first stops h5. Okay, bishop h6 is also there. But as I was mentioning that this position is requires tactical means, because there is a weakness on f6. Yes, yes. Rook into e7, queen into e7. Yes, this is possible. But after that, what will you do? Because I understand you want to play rook into e7. Actually, guys, this is the best move from white side. Because by playing this move, we are removing one defender. Okay. In chess, when we are attacking, the usually your opponent also defends, right? So we should be having more number of attackers, because if you are having equal number of attackers and equal number of defenders, then you cannot capture any piece or a pawn. But when you have more number of attackers, then you can win the piece. So here, as I was mentioning, the knight on f6 is defended by the bishop and the queen. So we should remove the defender here by playing rook into e7. Then after queen into e7, okay. Again, we are attacking the knight with only one piece. So how will you attack this knight on f6 with more number of pieces? Which piece will you play here? Yes, Tuvia has suggested queen to the f3. That is correct. We should play queen to the f3 in this position. We are attacking the knight here with the bishop and the queen. So black will play something. What will black play to defend the knight? Can you tell me? Yes, Krishna, you are also right about that move. Which move do you think black will play here? Bishop f5 has been suggested by Krishna. Two-way suggesting king g7. Well, we will see one move after another. King g7 and queen f4 is suggested by Anish. Good. That is also one of the possibilities. So basically, I see that you have suggested two moves. One is bishop f5 and one is king g7. We'll consider both the moves one by one. First, we will consider bishop to the f5. Well, I think bishop f5 if you play, then I can capture on knight into f5. And after g into f5, white can play queen into f5. Again, we are attacking the knight on f6. And another thing is that we have opened up black's king side. If king g7 is played in this position, then it seems to that the position is still very difficult. But okay, if you go back a little bit, okay, if you go back a little bit in this position, as I was mentioning, you have opened up the position of black's king. So there is a better alternative here. Yeah, in this position, can you find out a better alternative rather than capturing the pawn on f5? Maybe you can take advantage of your opponent's open king side. Yes, queen g3 you should play. If you play queen to the g3, now we are threatening bishop into f6 check, because this is a discovered check and he will get checkmated, right? And now black is almost helpless in this position. Okay, this is a little bit difficult tactic to find out here in this position. Krishna, you are also right. If king g7 is played, white has a nice move, that is bishop into f6 check. Now black must play king into f6 because his queen was hanging. So now how will you win the game? How will you win the queen on e7? Can you tell me? Okay, knight into knight e2, knight f4 and knight h5. We will consider, but first of all tell me how will you win the queen on e7? Yes, queen h4 check. Definitely he might play king e6, and then we can play rook e1 check. King wherever it moves, we will capture the queen on e7. Correct? Yes, very good. So I will just tell you why you were asking me the move, why not knight e2, right? This is the move which you were asking me, like why not play this move? Okay, if we will play this move, then maybe I have this move. I might play queen to the d6 and I'm unpinning the knight on f6. So if you give your opponent any chance to unpin and to recover from the loss, and by playing queen to the d6, one move is also there. We are controlling the g3 square, which white was aiming by playing queen to the g3. So clearly, in this position, don't you think so that queen g3 is a much better move, or do you think that knight e2 is a better move? Queen g3 is much better than knight e2, right? Because in this position, we are not allowing black to play any normal move. If he plays queen to the d6, then we'll just capture the queen. So he doesn't have that time to attack any. And if he plays queen e6, this kind of a move, then we'll play bishop f6. And it is again a checkmate. So, and as we already saw, that king g7 if we play, then we will be winning the queen. So, it is all about the tactics. I know that this is a little bit deeper tactics, but okay, as we want to advance in chess, we should see simple tactics slowly and gradually, then we will improve. Okay, so black played king to the g7, which move we were already suggesting in this position. King g7. Now tell me, how will you attack this knight on f6 further? Okay, good. Bullet player, good. But I will suggest you to play some normal rapid games also, because bullet is good for fun. but bullet is not something which is good for improving your game. If you want to improve your game, if you want to learn from your game, then rapid is more important. Not even blitz is also okay, but play a little bit slower games. Okay. Okay, Anish is suggesting Queen F4, future James is suggesting Queen F4. I agree with you that you want to play this move and then you want to play Bishop to the H6. But guys, if you play Bishop to the H6, nothing is really happening. Like you are not attacking anything. I don't see anything great in Queen to the F4 because I can even play Rook to the E8 in this position. Then if you play check, then I'll go King G8. Then what are you doing? Nothing. You have already sacrificed your exchange, but now you are not even having any threats here. This is not that much good. Okay, if you play knight h5, okay, in the previous position are you suggesting knight h5 to me? Here knight h5, h4 h5 is suggested, right? Okay, knight. Okay, Vinod has come up with a very nice interesting move, I will say. Here in this position, king g7 was the position, and here Vinod is suggesting knight g e4. Yes, actually knight g4 or knight c4, both the moves are good because what are we doing? First of all, understand the queen is there and the king is there. So whenever we will be capturing with bishop into f6, we might win the queen here. Okay, so here knight c4 or knight g4 are best moves because if we capture it back, then again we will capture, and now the checkmate threats are there because we need our bishop here so that we can play queen f4 and queen f6 and then queen g7 checkmate. So here black must play queen to the e6 because we were threatening bishop into f6. Okay, it's all about the pinning here. By playing knight c4, okay, you have given up one piece, but you are going to get back the piece because black doesn't have any move. So queen e6, bishop into f6 check, king g8. Now which move will you play? Obviously there are weaknesses here. So which move will you play here? Look at these pieces which are standing on the queen side. They are just like spectators in the position. They are not doing that great, right? And look at our pieces. The knight, bishop, and also the queen is there. So how will you bring the queen in the game now? Come on guys, tell me which move will you play here? Because this is, yes, queen f4. Anish, you are right about this move. Is there anyone who has other opinion? Let me know. Yes, queen e6. He can play bishop f5 first. Okay, okay. Let us check the move which you are suggesting. If you play bishop to the f5, which was Vinod was suggesting, here you can simply play bishop into f6 and then you will be winning the queen here. So bishop f5 doesn't seem that good move here. Vinod, did you understand this thing? Because it's a check and we are attacking the queen also. I hope you understood this thing. So he played queen into e6, but it is also not going to help him. White can play in this position queen f4, which move suggested by Swarali, Akshay, and Anish also. Absolutely right, because next move we are going to play queen to the h6 and queen g7 checkmate cannot be prevented. Even if you play rook to the e8 in this position, we will just play queen h6 and the g7 checkmate is there. And if you play queen to the f6, then again we will be giving check, king here, then queen h7, check and mate. So all these moves are possible from white side and it should be. Yes, yes, yes. Like with it, you can say I talk with everyone, I play with everyone, and it's not that particularly it's not aimed after something like I will be teaching anything. No, nothing like that. Just I come live, I play some games, I look at something, and I even solve some tactics with everyone. So from this game, Okay, guys, one question for you. From this game, what did you learn? Can you tell me in comment section? At least 2 points you should tell me. Like, what did you learn from this game? What did you observe or something? Let me know so that I will also feel good that you are learning something from the streams. Not everyone. Okay, tell me. Like, from this game, at least 2 points you should tell me. I should also understand what are you learning. Attacking weakness. Okay, Anish has come up with something. I came in late and it was away for 5 minutes. But one thing I learned is three moves by knight to capture a bishop is not good. Definitely, Mayur, playing three moves by the any piece and just capturing one piece which is not that much important is not at all good. We should not waste our moves in the opening. We should first of all develop our pieces and then we can play same number of like one piece again and again. That is okay. But first of all, complete the development and play the same piece again and again only if it's necessary. Otherwise, don't play it. Definitely. Don't fear to sack. Okay. Tuve is suggesting attacking pin pieces. Don't lose the tempo. Akshay is saying very good. Anything else? Play simple chess. Okay. And look for initiative. Vidya is also here. Okay. Look for initiative. Yes, guys, correct. And also, one more thing is that unnecessarily don't play pawn moves in front of your castle king. Whenever you play pawn moves in front of your castle king, you are creating some weakness around your king, and that is not something good. Your king is the most important piece on the board, and you should take care of your king at any cost. Okay. You should not learn how to lose. You should learn how not to lose. What you should not be playing. Okay. Okay, guys, let's see one more game and try to understand different concepts now. Okay, so here my play in Sicilian Nashdorf by Black recently has had f6 move after castle and also a lot of problems due to that one wasted move. Yes, whenever you play h6, g6 or f6, it creates some kind of weakness and your coordination between your pieces is also a little bit damaged. So definitely you should not go for such moves. Okay, so the game which we are going to see it starts with d4. Okay, and then black played knight to the f6, white played knight to the f3, then e6 was played by black, then knight to the bd2, black played c5, e3. See, c5 was played to attack the center with on the d4, and white calmly plays e3 to protect the center. It's very important to control the center. We should always try to put our pawns or pieces in the center of the board. I'm repeating this thing because we should not forget this thing. Okay, b6, then bishop to the d3, bishop b7, castles. So you can see that white quickly developed the pieces on the king side, the bishop on d3 and knight on f3, and he castled. This is something which I will always recommend you to do whenever it is possible. Complete your development with the like complete means develop your pieces on the king side, castle. The king will be safe, and now you are like ready to play on other side of the board. You can be sure that okay, my king is safe, and I can go further. Okay. So black played bishop to the e7, then became something. Well, it is the mixture of you can say the Cole system, London system, this kind of position. Usually in London system, bishop comes on here on f4, but sometimes it is also there with b3, bishop b2. It is a mixture of all the system. But you can say that the Cole system, but it's a little bit mixed. In Cole system, c3, e3, and d4 plus bishop to the d3, knight f3, knight to the d2 is played. It is a setup by white pieces. Okay. Yeah, c3 and started with he. Yes, yes, it's a mixture. Okay. So here white played c4 because he wants to control the d5 square, and black played castles. And as I was mentioning, b3 was played. Now white's idea is to play bishop to the b2 and put pressure on this diagonal. So black played d5, and now you can say that the opening has converted into something else. It is now like you can say like the symmetrical opening. As you can see, all the pawns are like same in this structure. The bishops are going to be developed on b2 and d3. So it is a symmetrical opening in the queen's gambit declined, you can say. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. So white played queen to the c2 because he wants to attack on this pawn on h7. Black played knight to the c6 with the idea of playing knight b4 and attacking the bishop and queen. So guys, first question for you from this game: which move will you play? Should you give up the bishop on d3 or should you keep the bishop? And if you want to keep the bishop, then which move you should play? Okay, I have three options here. Knight g5 by Vidya. Okay, if you want to play knight to the g5 here, possible. But I can simply play h6 in this case, and you don't have any attack on the h7 anymore. And if you play this move on the next move, then I can even go for knight to the b4, and then I will be capturing very important piece on d3. Because if you see the position, white has these three pawns here, f2, e3, and d4, and because of these three pawns, the bishop on c1, or you can say the dark square bishop, is not that much open. Okay, but the bishop on d3, which is a light square bishop, it is more open in this position because the pawns are on their dark square. So whenever the pawns are on the dark square, the light square bishop is most likely to be open. When the pawns are on the light square, usually the dark square bishop is open. So try to keep the bishop, sorry, try to keep the bishop which is of the opposite color of your pawns on the board. That is more important because that is more active bishop, you can say. And white will not be very happy to exchange the bishop on d3. Okay, maybe you can play queen to the b1, and then you can play knight into d3, queen into d3. In this position, black has played three moves here: knight c6, knight b4, and knight d3. But in this position, black is developed. Okay, after development you can do anything you want, but before development you should not play the way black played in the previous game. Okay, so this was a very good comparison, you can say. Yes, correct. So after this explanation, I hope you understood that it's very important to play a3 in this position. Correct? You Many people have already suggested a3. You are right about that thing. Swarali, Yash, Mayur, Anish, and future grandmaster also. Okay, so black played c into d4, and now here you have okay, fine. Bishop h7, king h8. Yes, here in that case the bishop will be gone. Future GM, I say, grandmaster, future grandmaster. Okay, here what will you play from white side? There are different possibilities. One thing is there that we can capture here. That is very straightforward. But I will tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, that white has wasted a little bit time and black is ahead in development because white has structural little bit weaknesses are there. This bishop is very nicely placed on this diagonal. So at any point, if black gets the chance to attack white's king, then white will be in trouble. Okay. Yeah, he is losing the pawn in the center. That is also there. Correct. So it was actually this in this position. Maybe a3 was not the best move. Then you will lose the bishop. That is also there. So the main point was that queen c2 was the main mistake in this position, which white shouldn't have played. What he should have done, his previous move was to play b3, right? His idea was to play bishop to the b2. So he after this move he should have played bishop to the b2 so that his piece will be developed. So I will recommend you one thing. Whenever you try to develop a piece, first of all develop the piece. Playing queen c2 is not that much sure because your opponent has the moves like knight to the c6 and knight b4, and that is not something good. Develop the pieces as quickly as possible, especially the minor pieces before major pieces. Okay. Minor pieces should be developed first and then go for the major pieces. Correct. Thank you, Swarali. It's a new thing. Like I have a big stand. Okay, fine. So here white made a mistake, and I will tell you. We will see how black took care, or like how black took the advantage of white's mistake, because white has wasted moves in the opening phase, and usually okay, queen c2 c2 was played, knight c6, and black is having the initiative now. Black is the one who is playing like white here. And then a3 was played, another little bit weak move. Then c into d4. He played c into d5, queen into d5, e into d4, and knight into d4. Now white is in big trouble because okay, he has lost one pawn. That is okay. You have lost one. But the thing is, the knight cannot move because there is a mate on g2. Knight into d4 if you play, then we will not capture the knight on d4. We will capture the pawn on g2 and it will be a mate on g2. So white cannot move his knight in this position. And the queen is also being attacked on c2. So queen b1 was played by white. And now in this position, white simply played rook f d8, putting more pressure. Again, you cannot really play knight to the d4. And one piece is also joining. Black is not in any kind of hurry. Always remember, whenever it's possible, bring the new pieces in the game. Okay. But okay, okay, I will talk about my mouse after some time. First of all, we'll focus here. Then knight e1 was played to protect the pawn on g2 by white. But now, as this bishop's diagonal is there and the knight has also moved back, so there are weaknesses on h2 square also. So my question for you is now, how will you attack the pawn on h2 more? Which move will you play now? Okay, guys, all these things are happening because white is lacking in development. His pieces are there on the queen side and they are not near his king. This is the main problem. Had I be like, had he played bishop to the b2 earlier, then rook c1, then his position would have been much better to play. So, which move will you play from black side, which will exert more pressure on the white's king side? Bishop d2 to attack h2. Definitely bishop d6 is a possibility in this position, Mayur. Definitely bishop d6 is a good move because we are putting pressure, and on the next move maybe we will play queen h5 and attack the h2 pawn. Yes, definitely. Okay, Vinod has come up with queen h5 first. Anish is suggesting knight to the g4. Well, knight g4 is also a possibility, but after knight g4, h3 will be played and then again we need to play the knight. So I think if you want to play knight g4, first of all prepare for it. Maybe with the move bishop to the d6 or the move which Vinod has suggested, queen to the h5. Both the moves are equivalent, they are equally good in this position. And now we are threatening here. Okay, so h3 if you play, then definitely here you can even go for something like rook a c8, but g5 is something. Okay, you can play with the idea of plan g4. This is also good because whenever your opponent plays h3, g3 or f3, that pawn becomes like a hook. Okay, it is called as hook, and the hook technique is like whenever your opponent gives some kind of a hook, we can pinpoint on that hook and we can attack that hook. It is a target for you to attack. So g5, g4 is actually a good move. You can play in this position. Or if you want to play safe, then you can even play something like rook a c8. That is also good enough with the idea of bringing the pieces here. Even knight d5, knight f4. This is also possible. You can go slowly and gradually. But after this, queen h5, white played bishop to the b2, putting like, okay, he thought like at least I should bring my pieces, but it's too late in this position. Now which move will you play? The move which was suggested earlier, black played bishop to the d6, and now see, black's pieces are just aiming towards white's king. Two bishops are there, queen is also there, the knight is ready to jump, and this knight is also controlling the f3 and e2 squares. Bishop d6 is much better than knight g4, I will say, because you are directly attacking this move, and there is a very nice trap in this position. Let's suppose g3 is played in this position to stop this bishop's diagonal, then now you should play knight g4. Yes, yes, correct. Now you should play knight to the g4 because now there is again a threat of check and mate. So black might be threatening this queen into h2 checkmate. So white might play h4 in this position. So now again, which move will you play from black side? Because it seems that okay, every weakness is already covered, but no, there is something which you can play, and that is a very nice move. Okay, I will give you some time. G5 is suggested by future grandmaster. Okay, possible. G5 is definitely possible, but there is a better alternative. There is a better alternative, guys, and I will just tell you. White resigned after this move. Okay, it was that much good move. Tactics is very important. Tactics are very important in chess. Pay attention to tactics. Yes, yes, boom, boom, queen into h4. Yes, right. We know the Vidya, you are right about this thing. Queen into h4. Now you will wonder why is he giving the queen here in this position? Because the thing is that one thing is there. Yes, future grandmaster, you are also right. Anish, you are also right. Queen h4. Because now we are threatening queen into h2, queen to the h2 check and mate. The pawn on h4 was not stopping us. And even if we capture the queen, you can still checkmate with bishop to the h2 because this bishop's diagonal is there and bishop is there and the knight is there. So you can say that I can even checkmate white's king with my minor pieces because the main point is like your pieces are not there in the game, means white's pieces are not in the game. They are like somewhere just like a spectators, or you can say they are some on another planet somewhere else. So that's why this game is so beautiful. Like when I looked at this game, yeah, I even saw tactics like this in my like earlier childhood, or you can say like that, and that's why I still remember this particular tactic of queen into h4. It's very. I remember this thing all the time. Whenever this is possible, I try to play like this. And I will just tell you, when I first time looked at this game, I was trying to actually make it happen on my board at any cost, but okay, it was not happening. My opponents were not that much helpful to me. It never happened, but okay, this is good to know. Okay, it was interesting. So, guys, one another thing as This is something interesting. I would like to again ask you, what did you learn from this game? At least 2 points you should tell me. What did you learn? What did you find it interesting? Also, you can say it's not just about learning something. It might be something which is fascinating about the game, which might be remembered by you. As for me, I told you this queen into h4 sacrifice is so much fascinating, or it's so much there in my mind. I always remember this thing. So whatever you like, you can tell me. And the queen h4 sacrifice was working just because black's pieces were coordinated. The bishop, two bishop, the knight, everything was coordinated in the position. And that's very important. The coordination between your pieces. Play on side where you have more pieces. Okay. Develop minor pieces before major pieces. Yes, correct. Or you can say one more thing. I like the last move. Okay, Swarali like the last move here in this position. Okay, cool. What else did you like about this game? Whatever you liked, whatever you will take this game with you, I will be very happy. Okay, guys, I'm not getting any more messages from you. I hope that is enough from your side. Okay, don't move the repeatedly. Yeah, you should not. And one more thing is that the normal principles you should follow. The three important principles you should always follow: rapid development of your pieces, center control, and king safety. Okay, okay. Pieces. Okay, Mayur like the last move. Okay, fine. Okay, let's look at bishop on diagonals. Rajendra Sal. Okay, bishop on diagonal. Yes, bishops were very powerful in this game, and also the coordination of the pieces, as I mentioned earlier. Very good. Yes, once you see the weakness, go for it. Yes, that is also there. And I will tell you one more thing, that wherever the weakness is there, the weakness is only weakness if you can attack it. If there is a weakness on one side of the board and if you are not able to attack it, then that weakness is not a weakness. That is maybe the potential weakness, or the weakness which is just virtual, you can say. You can see it, but you cannot really touch it. So those weaknesses are not important for us. We should consider only such weaknesses where you can go and attack them. So it's very important to always find out a way to attack your opponent's weaknesses. So for that reason, we need to divert our pieces towards that weakness. Okay, as the way black did in this game, he like diverted, or he brought the weak, like his pieces towards the weakness which was there on the h2 g2 like h2 and g2, you can say. Okay, so let's look at one more game today. And oh, okay, 400. Okay, guys, we will see one more game, and after that, okay, fine. So we will go to the next game quickly because your data is also ending. Okay, c4 was played by white here, and black player played e5. White played knight to the c3. Are you getting the moves properly now? Just let me know. Are you ready for the new game? This game is also interesting. Yeah, you are getting the moves. Black played knight to the f6. Okay, okay. This is a different opening. You can say this is English opening. Okay, so white played g3, black played d5, c into d5, and knight into d5. The reason why I am showing you this game is like in this game, the approach towards, there are many different things which we can learn from this game, but we should know this thing also, that sometimes we can control the center with our pieces also, not just with the pawn. There are two approaches: controlling the center with the pawns or controlling the center with the pieces. And one more thing, we can say the hybrid one, that controlling the center with the pawn and the pieces, which is very very common. So here white plays bishop to the g2, and you can see there is no pawn in the center of the board. Still white is putting some pressure in the center of the board with pieces, right? Yes, correct. Ajendra sir, you are right about this thing. English is there. So black played knight to the b6 because we are attacking the pawn on the knight on d5. Yes, correct. Hyper modern. So knight b6 was played at it was being attacked. White plays knight to the f3 to attack the pawn on e5. Again, white is not putting any pawn in the center. He is bringing the pieces towards the center. So black played knight to the c6. Castle was played. Okay, my question for you is like, why do you think that black is not playing e4 move here? Obviously, the pawn will be free. That's why it is not played. But whenever, not in this position, at this pawn is being attacked, but different positions I am telling. When the knight is there on f6, okay? Just for your sake of information, whenever you play the pawn here, it will become a weakness because white can play knight g5 and we will be attacking the pawn with three pieces in that case. So usually you should not push your pawn in the center of the board just like that. Too much of forward, if you push the pawn, then you will be pushing the pawn too much forward, means you are making some weaknesses because you will not be able to support that pawn. So make sure that whenever you push the pawn, you will be able to give support to your pawn. Okay. So here black played bishop to the e7. Obviously black wants to castle in this position. So he played bishop to the e7. White played d3, controlling the e4 square, and also this bishop is also going to come out any point, maybe to the d2, e3. We will figure it out where it is going to be played, or maybe he will not play the bishop. The bishop on c1 is also very well placed here in the center. Okay, Rohit is also here. Good to see you. Black played castles, white played bishop to the e3 because we need to develop our pieces, right? So after bishop to the e3, rook c1 is also one of the moves which will white will like to play to put the bishop on this on this file. So bishop g4 was played by white, and here in this position, the knight will be captured by queen. Yeah, okay, okay. Here I don't see any queen capturing the knight, but okay, maybe in the future we will see where it might happen, sir. Okay, thanks. So h3 was played by white, attacking the Shivendra is also here, attacking the knight here on this, and he played bishop to the h5, maintaining the bishop on this diagonal. And I will just tell you, like white, if he plays g4, then it will be like something like you are creating weaknesses around your king side. And usually it is not a good practice to create your own weaknesses, because after bishop to the g6, black will be very happy to play h5 or even f5. In that case, white's king side will be little bit weak. But okay, some players like to play in this kind of aggressive way. But I will say that unnecessarily you should not create weaknesses around your king side. So here white played rook to the c1. Until now, everything was normal. Okay, everything is normal. And here black played queen to the d7, putting some pressure on this diagonal. And here in this position, white played a mistake. He should have understood that what black is threatening. Always pay attention to your opponent's threats. He is threatening on h3, but you will say that okay, bishop is there on g2, so I don't need to worry about this thing. But the bishop is doing two jobs at the same time. It is supporting the knight on f3 as well as it is supporting the pawn on h3 in this case. Yes, so what? Okay, here king to the h2 should be played by white so that the pawn on h3 will be supported. But here white just neglected the threat by black pieces, because as I was saying, the bishop on g2 is doing multitasking, and he played knight to the a4 with the idea of playing knight to the c5 or something like that. So can you tell me how will you take advantage of this inaccuracy by knight to the f4? Yes, correct. Bishop into f3 suggested by Anish. Yes, future GM, you are also right about this thing. Bishop into f3 is something which we should play, because after bishop into f3, the thing is happening. If you capture with the bishop, then you will lose the pawn on h3, and if you capture with the pawn here, then your pawn on d3 will be very very big. Plus your pawn on the f file will be doubled, and the pawn on d3 will be lost sooner or later, because we can always put more pressure on the d3 pawn, and there is no other pawn which will be supporting the pawn on d3. So this pawn structure will be damaged. Plus the d3 weakness is a weakness now because we can attack it. Okay. Yes, yes, correct. So here, white player decided to give up the pawn on h3 instead of giving up the pawn on d3 after some time. Obviously, d3 pawn is not like will not be lost just now, but black will be very happy to put more pressure on it with the rook d8 and putting pressure on the d3 pawn. So he decided to give up the pawn because what he thought, like he can recover the pawn very quickly. Okay, his thought process was like, I'll play bishop into f3, black will play queen into h3, and now he will recover the pawn. How will you recover the pawn in this position? My again question for you. How will you recover the pawn from white side? Yes, bishop into c6. But I will just tell you that bishop into c6, if you play, you are giving up a very important piece in your arsenal, you can say, because in this position, the after the capture of bishop into c6, you are just leaving these weaknesses around your king side, and your opponent's king is already there on this h3 square. So it is not something which you should be very happy to play it, right? Which bishop? Why not his bishop take our bishop? Yeah, he played bishop into f3 only, sir. Maybe your stream is little bit behind. Please refresh your page, sir. He took our bishop. Black played queen into h3, and white played bishop into c6 in this position, and b into c6, and here knight rook into c6. And now, okay, white has recovered the pawn, but he has created weaknesses around his own king side. So now our question is like, how will you play from black side? You need to take advantage of the weaknesses which white has created in his camp. So I will tell you one more thing, that you should not give up your important piece, especially the defender of your king side. King side is very very important. Like king side means where your king is there. I am talking about that thing. Yes, Anish, knight to the d5 is something which you should play here, because now we are attacking the bishop on e3, because after knight into e3, f into e3, queen into g3 will be played. And here white should play, means white should have played something like, okay, but white player was not that much strong. Yes, we are also defending the pawn on c7. White should have played bishop to the c5 in this position. Okay, no doubt this is the best move, because after bishop into c5, knight into c5, still black will be having slight like advantage, we can say, because after rook to the b8, the pawn on b2 is being attacked, and the rook is also coming in the game via these squares. And we have this idea of playing f5 f4 in this position. So I will say that black has a lot of initiative in this position, because he has a lot of possibilities to attack. But okay, white player was not that much strong. What he thought, like, maybe I can play queen to the e1 in this position and defend the pawn on g3. Okay, because what is his idea? if knight into e3 is played, then f into e3, it will give him lot of chances because the pawn on c7 is a weakness, and his king side is also developed. Means king side is also defended because queen is coming there, and black has only one piece there to attack him. So black cannot really do anything if he captures on e3. So capturing on e3 is actually a mistake in this position because white center will also be okay, and black has weaknesses on a7 and c7, especially if you play bishop to the d6, then your bishop will be blocked. And the most important thing is that we can play e4, and look at this bishop on d6. It will be restricted by his own pawns, and that is not something which is good from black side. Suddenly the position which was so good for black, it will become so much inferior for him. And even though you can say white's king is exposed, it will not be having any problems. As I mentioned earlier, weakness is a weakness only if we can attack it. So here black cannot attack the white's king here anymore, and white will be very safe, and black needs to be careful here because the knight on a4 will be coming on d5 square. D5 square will be very strong square for the knight, and I will prefer this position playing from white side. So my question for you is, as knight into e3 is a mistake. It will be a bad move. Although it looks like a good move, but it is actually a bad move. What will you play in this position? Always remember, try to bring new pieces in the attack. So how will you bring pieces in the attack? How will you create that kind of a position where you have maximum pieces? Which move will you play from that side? Yes, Anish, we know you are absolutely right about this thing. Black should play f5 in this position so that you can push the pawn to the f4 square, and then we will be attacking the g3 weakness. Okay, so you should play f5. Yes, Mayur, you are also right. Rook a b8 will be a little bit slow, but f5 is much more faster way to attack your opponent's weaknesses. So here in this position, okay, f4 is coming. So white decided to play bishop to the c5. Yes, Swarali, you are also right. By playing f5, we are also bringing the rook in the game. Don't forget about this thing. And now he's attacking your bishop. So what you should play? Good, Nubia. Which move will you play now? Will you continue with your f5 f4 march? It's like the Dandi Yatra by Gandhiji. He is taking everyone with him. Just play, keep on playing the move, and everybody will join you. Rook f6, bishop is on knight f4. Well, here you don't need to calculate that much because one thing is clear. You can play f4 and attack the pawn on g3. That is, and your rook f5, rook h5 is also one of the threat. But if you play rook f6 at any point, then his rook will be capturing your f6. So rook f6 is not something which I would recommend in this position. Yes, we should play f4 in this position, definitely, because your idea is quite clear that you want to play rook at f5 and rook h5, and there is a checkmate here. Okay, if he captures here, then I will tell you that capturing back is a possibility. I will not deny this thing. This is also good enough for you because again we will be playing this move, and also we are attacking here. But instead of capturing on e7, black can actually play a better move because, as I mentioned, these weaknesses are there. Yeah. So can you play a better move than capturing the knight into bishop? Instead of that, black can play a better move. Take advantage of these weaknesses around black's king. rook f5 probably. Well, rook f5 you can go for, but here, okay, you can play this move, but he might play bishop to the h4, and again you need to play in a much more better way. I will say that rook f5 will give him chance. Don't give him any chance. Finish him off. What will you play here? Knight d3 suggested by Anish here. Well, this is also one of the possibilities, but you need to calculate after this move what will you play. Knight d3 is actually a good move. Yes, f into g3. Yes, and then we will be threatening queen to the h2 check and mate. And black is almost winning because white doesn't have any chance. Even if we play rook to the f2 in this position, we can simply capture here and then we will win the queen also. And we can even play rook into f2 also. That is also winning for. Oh, so knight e3 with the threat of queen to the g2 is one of the good move. But black decided to play in a little bit different with the same idea. First he played f into g3 with the idea of queen to the h2 check and mate. Okay, so white cannot really do with this anything, and f into g3 was played, and now knight to the e3. Now queen g2 checkmate is coming, and even if you play rook to the f2, can you find out a checkmate in this position? How will you checkmate? Obviously checkmate is there. We can simply play queen into g3, king h1, and now rook into f2. Now there is a checkmate which white cannot really prevent. So just by playing f5, f4 and f into g3, black just destroyed white's king side, right? He just destroyed. So this f4, f5 move is very, very important to bring the piece in the game. So be sure about this thing that when you are attacking, don't slow down. By playing knight into e3, it seems that you are doing something, but your pieces are not coming in the game. You should have pieces. And it is also said that join the party with all your toys, or bring the pieces or your friends for the party. This is whenever you are attacking, you are partying, okay? It should be a celebration, and you cannot celebrate alone. If you are going for the celebration alone, that is not a good thing. We should have our friends, our family members, and everyone. And on the chessboard, all our friends, these bishops, this rook, everybody is our friend, and everybody should be called in the game. And then only we can enjoy properly. Okay. So f4, f5, means f5, f4 is a very nice way to play in this position, and play systematically, step by step, go slowly. Okay. Yes, I have said this countless of times because this is something which we always forget, and it should be repeated many, many times. So guys, I think it was good enough for today. We looked at three games. I don't want to show you too many games in just one session, and it was enough. So just before we leave, can you tell me what did you learn from this game? And I have even, I would like to say, I have, if you want to support my channel, if you are liking my streams and everything, then you can support me by donating. I have kept the links in my description. You can look at those things. uh, Maybe I will, yes, bring your pieces into play. Very good, Mayur. Do you want to solve tactics before we end the game, end the stream, or what? Always think about your opponent's moves. Profile axis thinking. Yes, you should always consider your opponent's ideas. Would you like to solve some tactics before we end the stream? We can do that definitely on chess.com. Okay, we will solve some tactics for 10 minutes and then we will end the session. Okay, but today we looked at three games, and I hope you enjoyed all three games today. Did you enjoy today's three games? Okay, yeah. Yes, so enjoyed the game. So let's solve some tactics and then we will proceed with our thing. So this is the position on the board. We'll solve maybe, we will try to reach 700 rating, okay? Our rating is 650 now. We'll try to reach 700 and then we will puzzle rush, which is right for 3 minutes and 5 minutes. Survival is puzzle slow. Thank you, Rajendra sir. Guys, if you don't know, Rajendra sir also has his channel and he makes videos in Marathi and Hindi related to chess. So you can go and watch his channel. He has nice instructive videos also there. So so go and watch his channel. Maybe if you like his content, you can subscribe to his channel also. Okay, thanks sir for joining us. He is a very senior person, a senior player. Thank you, sir. See my comment. Okay. Go to party with all your friends. Yes, yes, Varali. Definitely, you should go for the party with all your pieces. Definitely, you learned a very good concept and remember this thing. In your games, play with all your pieces. You should enjoy the party. Chess is a celebration, and especially when you are attacking, it's a big celebration. Yes, sir, I know you. Okay. So your solution here, Vidya has suggested bishop to the g3 check. Yes, yes, sir. Bishop g3 check, and now we will be attacking the queen, and we will be winning the queen here. So go to the next one. Here, white to play. Which move will you play? Okay. Yeah. Tube also has his channel. It is Tube's World, and he makes videos related to many things like describing about books, about movies like Harry Potter, and about chess. Also, he makes videos. He is my youngest student. He's just 9 years old, so his videos also interesting. You can check his channel also. Okay. Yeah, Mayur, you are right about this thing. Rook into pawn, and then we will capture this, and it should be winning for us because we will be having one extra pawn, which we will be pushing here, and the pawn should queen in that case. So let's go to the next tactic. This is a very clear case of weaknesses around king. These weaknesses are there, so we should just attack the weakness, and we should be winning in this case. So queen is there, winning the bishop here. So how will you take advantage of this thing? Yes, with that you are right about this thing. Bishop to the h3, and here which move will you play? Will you capture the bishop on g2 or will you capture the queen on g4? Obviously, we should capture the queen, right? Yes, I will capture the queen. Let's go to the next one now. This is white to play. Which move will you play? This one is a little bit tricky. Getting up to 25 on server. I haven't beaten my own record of them. Keep on doing, Mayur, and I will recommend you this thing. Sometimes what happens is like you are solving tactics and you are not getting the solution, or in your game also it happens like you are solving, trying to solve something but you are not getting the solution. At that time I will recommend you to have a fresh look. How to have a fresh look? Like you should take few seconds or few minutes of gap. Maybe during the game you can walk a little bit, or drink water. Water is very, very important. That's why I keep on drinking water, because water gives us oxygen and our brain always need oxygen. So we should drink the water, and then you will feel a little bit fresh, and then you can find the solution much more better. So I will tell you, if you are solving survival, then drink water, take a break, and then again solve it. Don't rush. Okay. Okay. Here, Vidya has come up with a good solution. We should play rook into d4, rook into d4, and the piece on f4 will be hanging in the end. Very good. Yes, it is good, but you can always score more. Tuvia. So which move will you play from black side? Let's see if this comes correct. Then we will cross 700, and then we can even end the stream with a good note. Which move will you play from black side? Black to play. I think this is the position which is related to pawn promotion. This is related to the pawn promotion. Your pawn is there, and you should be able to promote the pawn to the queening square, like they say in Samai's brain and hand channel. Yes, yes. So come on, guys, tell me, pawn, queen, pawn. Yes, queen the pawn. We should queen the pawn. How will you queen the pawn? You cannot really queen the pawn just by pushing. You need to be precise. You need to be precise because his queen is there to capture the pawn. So remove the attacker and say, remove this queen from this square. Come on, guys, tell me. This is not that much difficult. You can solve this thing. Yes, Mayur, you're right about this thing. Play g4, and after that exchange everything and push the pawn, and it is winning. Finally, we have crossed 700. Congratulations, guys. And we'll meet once again in the evening time at 6:30. Before that, I will be uploading a video. So do look at the video which I will be uploading. And we will meet with something interesting content in the next class. Okay. Thank you very much, Vidya, Mayur, Tuvya, and whoever joined me today. Thank you very much. We will end the stream now. Okay. See you. Good to see you. Cheers. Cheers.